Hi, I'm Kelly Perkins. I am founder and CEO of Spinster Sisters Co., which is a natural premium plant-based skincare line. And I have asked one of my advisors and an investor, Elliot, to join on this call and just kind of do a live Q&A. So Elliot, this is Elliot.
Hi, everyone. Nice to meet you and glad to be here. And go ahead and put your questions in the Q&A box, and Kelly and I will tag team them. I'm going to serve as the moderator, putting Kelly on the hot seat. So let's get started. So Kelly, you ready to roll?
I'm ready.
All right, we got our first question. It's a really simple, straightforward one. Why are you raising money?
So we are raising money. The long and short of it is we're raising money to help grow the business and grow our value. We're going to be using the funds to increase our advertising spend on marketing, both through digital and social ads, Google ads, things like that, and on Amazon to try to increase our sales there. And also to purchase and lease manufacturing equipment to increase our efficiencies at the warehouse, which will, obviously over time improve our profit margin and value of the company.
Yeah, and for those, I think that's a great question. And for those listening, I mean, building a consumer packaged good business is expensive because you have to do a lot of things, and one of them is to get consumers to understand and try the product, and so making sure that you have enough dollars to do that, and being self-manufactured gives us a lot of flexibility. So but putting those dollars to work towards building awareness, building trial and discovery is key. Oh, we got another question in quickly. So another cool one. Why did you decide to do an equity crowdfunding round? Why here on these platforms?
Yeah, that's a great question as well. I personally, you definitely have different options in investing, but we have a very loyal following at Spinster Sisters. We have customers that literally have been with us since our first farmers market and have been buying from us since then. And to me, those are the people that you want to be invested in your company. They believe in your products. They believe in your mission. They're your tribe. And, not everybody has the means to go out and spend $25,000, $50,000 on investment, but equity crowdfunding allows people to make smaller investments in the company and not necessarily be what's considered a accredited investor. So it kind of opens it up to the whole spinsterhood to buy into the company and actually have an ownership stake in the company. So that's
Cool.
why I chose crowdfunding.
So it democratizes it and invites everybody in. Well, I mean, the next question that I'll pull here, we're getting a bunch in, is why should I invest in Spinster Sisters? So why the person listening wants to know, hey, you want me to put money in? Why?
Yeah. So we are, and we'll get possibly into this a little bit later, but we are a public benefit corporation. So we have committed to a sustainability value mission for the company. So we are moving towards reducing plastic. We use renewable energy in our manufacturing process. We're really trying to do the right thing for our employees, our environment, our customers, our community. So that is, I think, something that really resonates with people. We also kind of pivoted the company towards natural and mass grocery channel in 2019, and we've seen really big growth, really fast growth there. And as you said, that growth is expensive. So yeah, I just think that you know, we're growing quickly and there's a lot of value in the company. We're trying to be innovative, we're trying to stay nimble and trying to get our products accessible to everybody in the country, not just higher income.
I'm gonna keep jumping. The next one is actually about, can you explain equity crowdfunding? And Kelly, if you don't mind, I'm happy to take that one. You know, matter of fact, I wrote an article recently about this because I started as a crowdfunding skeptic and have become a crowdfunding proponent. You know, one of the realities in this industry is that there's a funding gap for brands. You know, once you get to a certain size, there's plenty of venture capital money there. But when you're in your in between stage, those awkward teenage stage, so to speak, which is, you know, where we find ourselves, it's a little bit harder to find funds. And equity crowdfunding has become a really viable opportunity. And the way it works is it allows brands like Spinster Sisters to raise money from not only accredited investors, and accredited investors, you know, that's a fairly high bar to set. It sets a threshold on annual revenue and your net, you know, your wealth, excluding your home. And you know, there are not a lot of people that cross that threshold. So that means if you're only accepting investment from people who to track that, you're somewhat, you know, leaving out a whole constituency that would like wealth building opportunities and the opportunity to bet on brands that they believe in. But the way it works is no different than really any other, you know, exchange for equity. You put money in, and in return you get shares. And in this case, you know, you're putting money in a convertible facility, either a safe or a convertible note. And when there is a qualified round, a raise of a larger amount, it will convert, and you will get your pro rata shares of Spinster Sisters, just like any other investor. So it really is no different than you investing in any other type of investment. Just the mechanism of the investment is different. The liquidity is different because there is no stock exchange, but you become an owner, and that's pretty cool. And Regulation C crowdfunding, there's a lot of information, you know, available, so you can self-educate. And I would highly recommend that you inform yourself on all of those things. But you'll find, I think, once you do that transactionally, it's pretty straightforward. So.
And I'm glad that you mentioned that, because I know, you know, a lot of people hear the term crowdfunding and think that they're making a donation for the perks.
Yeah.
And that's not the case. Like you said, you're becoming an owner of the company. You own a stake in the company.
Yeah, I mean, the more traditional crowdfunding that we're probably, most of you are more familiar with, is the stuff like you know, Kickstarter campaigns and those kind of things, which were rewards-based crowdfunding. So you actually were just putting money in because you wanted to, you know, get early access to the product, or and some perks or things like that. But that's not what this is. This is equity, meaning that you're, in return for the dollars you're putting in, you're getting ownership rights to the business, and that is it's a really cool opportunity. You're a stakeholder in the ride. And you know, one of the questions that just came in is, will I be an owner of the company? Yes, you will eventually become a shareholder or member unit holder of the business, and be a part of its journey for the rest of its life. And if you are a believer like I am in both the founder and the brand and the products, then it's a cool way to do it. Next question is, how will I make my investment pay off? So, you know, how do I get my money back? How do I see dollars, which kind of dovetails into this conversation? And I can continue, you know, if you'd like, Kelly, but I mean, basically, this is not as liquid as like a stock exchange. It's not like you're, you know, able to go on and day trade and say, I'm going to own, these shares today and I'm going to sell them back. And there isn't that. So it's a longer hold. But in the CPG space and the consumer packaged goods space, there's a lot of acquisition activity that's going on. And you've probably read about things like Kellogg's buying RX Bar, or General Mills a few years ago buying Annie's Natural, the mac and cheese company. That happens, and those usually happen at fairly significant multiples. And when those acquisitions happen, all the shareholders get their pro rata, portion of the proceeds. They get their investment dollars back, and then they share pro rata their the benefit of that sale. So it can be lucrative, but like any investment, it carries risk, right? So invest in, my philosophy has always been invest what you can lose, invest what you can go to sleep at night and feel okay with. So, and I think that dovetails really well into this next question we're getting in, which is, more about your free from line and why you decided to move towards being plastic free and water free. It's a big change to get people to rub a bar under their arm instead of a roll on or a spray. So, what motivated you to do that, and why do you feel so passionately about it? And just share a little bit about it.
Yeah, so I'll preface this with, I grew up in Boulder, so natural products have been a part of my life, my entire life, and recycling and composting and just being really focused on sustainability again. And I learned not that long ago that there's over 8 billion tons of plastic on the planet, and only 9% of that has been recycled. So that number to me is astounding. National Geographic even says that by 2050, there's going to be more plastic in the oceans than fish. And it's just not something I could be a part of, growing that problem. So I decided in my own way to tackle that problem through creating the Free From line to eliminate plastic waste. Additionally, as you know, skincare products are a lot of water. It's a lot of water weight that's being shipped around the country that's not necessarily helping your skin. So the Free From line is really concentrated formulas. They are all, again, plant-based, super concentrated formulations that are great healing, moisturizing products, and zero waste. The boxes are delivered in paperboard boxes that are fully compostable, printed with soy-based ink, FSC certified paper. So you literally can throw that in your garden and it will help your garden grow the next year. So it's just, for me, about kind of ridding the planet of certainly not adding to the plastic problem for me.
Yeah, and I fall in love with the product, and of course it's the only time in my tenure that I've ever had a conversation with the founder around armpit hair. So I mean, how cool is that, right? So
it was one of our testers. So
yes, and we're talking about my armpit hair, by just for clarification. We got time for one last question, and it's a perfect one, and that is, if I want to learn more about Spinster Sisters, how can I do that?
Yeah, well, we would love to tell you more about Spinster Sisters, and we're on all social media platforms. We have our website. On our website we have our pledge to doing things right. We have a website page called Doing Right Matters that gives more information about what we've been able to save in plastic usage and water waste and things like that on our website. We're going to be expanding that soon with more of our environmental initiatives, but there's a wealth of information on the website. And kind of going back to the Free From products, that's a new, certainly a new form of skincare that people aren't accustomed to. So there's a lot of educational resources and videos on the website that you can learn more. And yeah, we're growing quickly around the country. You can find our products in several regions of Whole Foods, H-E-B, Fruitful Yield, Bristol Farms, Mom's Organic Market. So there's lots of opportunity to try out the products. And our website is spinstersistersco.com. Check it out.
Thanks everyone for the great questions. We're basically at time, and so we'll honor that, and appreciate your interest. Thanks, Kelly, for doing this with me. It's always fun, and I'm sure there'll be more of these to follow. So
absolutely, and check out the crowdfund campaign at wefunder.com as well.
Bye all.